Your
don't
Honor, she's
understand
directing.
why does she feel that she can contact the father of my kids, my friends, and everything, and then attack
Do I
me?
contact
I'm
Jerry?
not doing
Do I
it.
contact
Your Honor,
Jerry?
objection. This
Hang
is
on.
getting ridiculous.
And this matter is a continuation of a violation hearing in this PPO case. Ms. McNabb, would you place your appearance on the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Laura McNabb, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, Kent County, on behalf of Petitioner Lizette Garcia.
Very good. Thank you. And could you remind me, Ms. McNabb, where we are in the hearing?
I believe that Ms. Garcia had offered some direct testimony. Ms. Puerto had had a chance to cross-examine her, and then Ms. Puerto offered some testimony, and it came down to some text messages that we were asking to be seen. Your Honor, is Nate Johnson in the waiting room by any chance?
No, in fact, Wendy indicated that Nate Johnson contacted her by telephone, indicated he was in receipt of the subpoena, but is a truck driver and does not intend to be present or testify today.
Okay.
And I take it that was your subpoena, Ms. McNabb?
It was, Your Honor, yes, so that he could testify to the text messages between himself and Ms. Puerto.
Okay, all right. Given that, I guess the next question is, where do we go from here? Have you closed your case in chief yet, Ms. McNabb?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Ms. Puerto was going to provide the court and myself with copies of the text messages. But I do not believe, I had some conversation with Lisa yesterday, and I don't believe those were ever sent over.
All right, Ms. Puerto, let me swear you in and then we'll see what we have with text message. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, were you able to provide us with any text messages, Ms. Puerto?
I was recently involved in a car crash, and my vehicle is damaged at the moment. I have been having issues with transportation, and I was not able to upload it on Turbo Court. I was trying to figure out how to do it, and I don't know how to upload them. Is there any way I could? It was the weekend, so I was not able to. I contacted this morning, and they told me that I can't upload or drop off anything on the day off.
Okay, and you don't have the text messages on your computer so that you could share a screen and show them to us?
1 second, let me see. I should be able to share it. Are you able to see?
Yep. I'm seeing a text message, N. Nate the Devil Cocksucker.
Yeah, I apologize, but that's what Lisa saved him under my phone, and I apologize.
Your Honor, I would ask to
This
see
is
the
crazy.
text messages before this. There's no
Please.
indication of the dates or when that first text was sent.
The day is right there, February 17th, and it's off of 2024.
Right, but I can't see the first part of this message. I don't know if that's the first text message. It looks like there's on the scroll bar, it looks like the scroll bar will scroll down a little bit on those text messages.
This is a screenshot, ma'am.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying this doesn't show the beginning of the conversation.
It does not.
Yeah, so the objection, Ms. McNabb, would be, I guess, the rule of completeness here. Does the previous conversation
Exactly.
have anything to do with the...
I'm trying to figure out how to get out of the text message and go back to the screen. I'm not sure how to do this.
It's funny because it states here, I don't really worry at all about her lifestyle, so I just don't understand why you contacting you.
He also contacted me this weekend
on
Friday.
Yeah.
He contacted me on Friday to let me know that he won't be going to court.
We weren't discussing
for that.
we're not discussing the text messages from this Friday. We're discussing the text messages that are alleged to have violated the
Well, the
PPO.
text messages that she provides as proof is just as like they look just as the one I'm providing you.
Okay, well, and the ones that were at issue here are from
Can I
back
state
in
something?
let's see here. Let me
Can I state something?
No, we're not having a back and forth conversation. I'll call on you as a witness when it's your time.
Okay.
The text message here, you know, appears to be, you know, the violating one anyways, sometime in the spring of 2024. What is the February one? Is that more recent? Is that from this February
So
or?
he texted me that not even a few days after she filed the PPO towards me.
And that's the text message you're proposing to show?
That is the text message that I have, correct.
That screenshot. And what's the purpose of showing that?
Well, because he's the one that wrote me and said my sister said that I should get some information from you for CPS in court. And clearly, why would I call him and say stuff like that? Like, I don't even communicate with this man at all, except for the fact that she contacted him off my phone. Oh my goodness. Sorry. This was January 12th, which was not even a few days after she filed the PPO order against me. She
And
came
what
to
would
my
be
house.
the relevance of that particular message?
That was a whole month prior.
No, it was not.
What would be your purpose of introducing that, Ms. Puerto?
I just want to show that she had communication with me, and I don't know where it just, I
In
don't
other
know what
words,
her
this is a
issue.
text message she sent to you, is what you're alleging.
Correct.
And
Your
that-
Honor,
On January 12th, telling me that she was having a girl, came to my house, they showed me the ultrasounds that day.
Your Honor, I would object. These text messages are from before the PPO was granted. You granted this PPO on February 25th of 2020, or sorry, February 15th of 2024. And it looks like it was not even submitted. The petition was not submitted until February 15th of 2024. So this is almost a whole month prior.
That's correct, Ms. Puerto? These are from January 2024 that you're.
It was from January, I'm not sure, I have to look at it, but I believe it's around January 12th or 14th.
Yeah, it was a
Of
whole month
24
prior.
though, not of this year, correct?
No, of the literally not even, it's not even 30 days in between the PPO.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this is more than a year old at this point.
Correct.
Okay, all right. No, I'm just trying to get it square in my head where these messages are and where they belong. And you would propose them to show that there was still some positive communication or back and forth communication during the time that the PPO was put in place between you and Ms. Garcia, and then secondarily, you're proposing to show that the communication between you and Mr. Johnson was something else. I mean, I guess that it wasn't, you weren't trying to send a message to Miss Garcia via Mr. Johnson, but rather he
No.
was reaching out to you for something else.
Correct.
Okay, all right. And the relevance of that is here.
Can I say one more thing? Sorry. He
Yeah,
did
go ahead.
he did write me on Messenger on Facebook on Friday. Literally, this not even 3 days ago, and said, I am not helping her with anything. I don't know why she would think that I would go to court for something
Objection,
like
Your Honor,
this.
hearsay.
No,
Yeah.
I have the message.
Can you display the message?
Yes, 1 second. I have to go into the conversation.
Now, Ms. McNabb, you also have those text messages that I sent to you of
Yes, I do.
Ms. Puerto and
Also from
everything
January of 2024.
Absolutely.
Yes, I do have those.
And I also would like to bring up the fact that she's been calling the father of my kids through this whole time as well. And I don't understand what makes it okay for her to contact the father of my kids and her expect for this man not to ask me a question.
Well,
Objection, Your Honor. The
the
PPO
only
isn't a.
answer I can give you, Ms. Porto, is that she's the one protected by a protective order. You're not-
I understand,
Yeah.
but she's making a third party connection when she's calling the father of my kids, which is the father of my kids.
Yeah, I understand. You're saying that's more or less the equivalent of reaching out to you. Well, I get that. Okay, and you're saying this is this Friday night,
Correct.
and this is between you and Mr. Johnson.
Yes, he wrote me out of nowhere at 6:33 p.m. and said, "I'm not helping Lisette at all. If anything, I'm on your side. I'm not going to get involved at all." She asked Nathan to ask me about it. When he did give me a call, he also told me that she offered cash money for him to come to court to be a
Your
witness.
Honor, objection. That's absolutely hearsay.
Yeah, I would agree. It's hearsay, and it doesn't really appear to be
I don't
relevant
have to
to
lie
what
about anything like that.
I'll
Yeah,
say,
no, it
and
just doesn't. I don't think it's relevant to anything I have to decide today. So,
Okay.
I'll say, and Your Honor, further, this message just shows exactly what Wendy told us, prior to starting the hearing, and that Mr. Johnson was not going to be appearing. It doesn't indicate anything about the basis of the violations or the claims.
Okay. Yep. No, I get it. Okay. All right. Any other evidence or testimony, Ms. Perto, you would like to put on the record at this time?
I just feel that I don't understand why it took 7 months or 9 months for her to file a violation of a PPO when she,
No.
like, honestly, I have not done absolutely nothing to this woman. She's been dragging me through the ground. I am upset. She's called CPS on me 2 times. I am over. I don't understand what she wants from me. I don't need to ask anybody to be my friend. I have never done anything wrong to this woman. I have no time to stalk anybody. And I have followed everything. I also responded to the PPO that the Judge Christensen read, and in the files that I submitted, you can see my response. And the case already got dismissed because she didn't go to court. We're here because I missed a Zoom meeting. She asked for Nate Johnson to be a witness who does not want anything to do with the situation. And I don't understand what is the point of keep dragging something that's not anything. She has not proven anything with me being violent towards her or violating anything at all. She has no proof of any of this.
Okay, well, and I understand what you're saying, Nate Johnson. He's kind of made himself not a witness today because he's not there. If I take that out, what about these other allegations in here, alleging you make posts of Miss Garcia on social media with
How
pictures
about
of
the
her and clown face over hers? Is that something that you
Does
did?
she have proof of these claims? Because I don't have time for this. I don't have time to put clown faces on it. I have six children who are in 3 different schools who go to 3 different sports. I don't have time to play
I
with
have
Miss
a witness
Garcia.
right here. My mother is a witness right here. I have a
Okay, hang
witness.
on. It's,
Can I
as I
call on a
said
witness,
before, Miss
please?
Garcia, I'm going to give you a chance, but it's not a back and forth argument or conversation when in court. I
No,
get to say who
it's okay.
talks when. So, and I'm still
Okay.
hearing from Miss Puerto. So, and then I'll give Miss McNabb an opportunity to cross-examine her, and then she can also put you on the stand as a rebuttal witness if necessary. So, all right. So, I mean, you're denying the clown face.
Correct.
Yeah.
I do get text messages from my friends telling me what she's telling them to tell me. So she's like, "Oh, you need to tell Angie to delete our pictures of social media and stuff like that." You don't need to have anyone talk to me about anything. That is a third party. I
Your
don't
Honor, she's
understand why
directing,
she feels. Why does she feel that she can contact the father of my kids, my friends, and everything, and then attack
Do I
me?
contact
I'm not
Jerry?
doing
Do I
a
Your
contact
Honor,
Jerry?
objection.
Hang
This is
on.
getting ridiculous.
Yeah, we're having two people talk at once. We can't do it. Miss Garcia, if you can't stop talking, I'm just gonna have to mute you. I get it, and I think what I'm hearing from Miss Puerto is her position is that the PPO is serving as an offensive weapon, a sword instead of a shield to protect Miss Garcia, but rather, despite the existence of the PPO, Miss Garcia's or former existence of the PPO, Miss Garcia is utilizing that situation to reach out, to other people surrounding her. So I think I've got the sense of what your argument is, Ms. Puerto, and I think I also have, as much evidence, as there is to present today. Any cross-examination, Ms. McNabb?
I will try to keep it brief, Your Honor. Ms. Puerto, how did you meet the father of your children?
How did I meet him?
Yes.
Through my friend Veronica.
Okay. And did he have any contact with Miss Garcia prior to you getting involved?
Correct, but I didn't even know that they were friends until she
Okay.
brought him over to my house.
Okay. So that they were friends prior to you entering into your relationship.
Yeah, they were friends before.
Okay.
No. They're gonna.
And then Ms. Garcia, Ms. Puerto, when do you think Ms. Garcia filed this violation?
I feel that she filed this violation around August or
Okay.
the beginning of August or something like that.
And if I told you the date on both the case management docket entry and the violation itself is May 8th of 2024?
Okay.
Okay, so not.
Does she have any proof of this violation? Because you guys keep saying violation, and we just came to court last week, and she also mentioned how I have not contacted her, and I must have
I'm
gotten
not.
the point.
I'm asking the questions. I'm just trying to confirm timelines. So it was, she submitted that violation, the violation to the court in May, and then it was not served to you until I believe she had to get alternate service and tacking it on your door.
Yeah, because I have kids and I work.
Okay.
I have video cameras of the guys delivering the paperwork. I mean, coming to knock on my door. I was not home.
Okay.
Just like how she wasn't home when she had to go to court in person.
So you were aware of the court date originally and just did not
No,
show
I
up.
was not aware of the court date because I didn't get anything served.
Well,
I got a little letter that said call him. He's been by here, but he never dropped off actual like dates or anything until he served them to me.
Interesting, because I've got a note saying that it was ordered to be tacked to your door and sent by first class mail. All right. And then do you have that first part of that message, of that conversation between you and Nate?
I'd have to go back and look through the messages because that's like they said a year and a half ago or whatever.
All right, Your Honor, I have no further questions at this time.
Okay, all right. No, I don't think I have any further questions either at this.
I was wondering if Ms. McNabb can present the messages that were also sent.
Oh, Lizette, I was going to do that I have to do that when you're testifying.
Okay. All right, and that was my next question. Ms. Porto, we don't have Nate here today. Any additional witnesses you would present for your defense?
No, I mean, if this goes any further, I'd like to bring like people who is very well aware of the harassment that I have been receiving from Mrs. Garcia.
Okay,
like this
well,
is
yeah,
it's
I mean,
insane. And she calls CPS the same day that
Your Honor, I would object to any further testimony regarding Ms. Garcia's actions.
Right. Part of this is, this PPO protects Ms. Garcia. If you filed for a PPO, well, it's not before me right now. So
I understand.
Yeah, I mean,
Just feel that nobody should be able to keep filing false information
I
with no proof.
I think I understand where you're coming from with Ms. Puerto.
Okay.
Your Honor, Ms. Garcia hasn't filed anything with this court since May.
She filed 3 really long statements that were full of lies.
Okay, all right. Well, let me, you have rebuttal witnesses to present, Ms. McNabb.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. I'd like to call Ms. Garcia as a rebuttal witness.
Very well, Ms. Garcia, would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. You may proceed, Ms. McNabb.
Thank you, Your Honor. You are Lizette Garcia,
Yes, correct.
and you are the petitioner in this matter?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Garcia, did you receive, Ms. Puerto showed some text messages from mid-January of 2024 showing that all seemed to be well between you two. Did you receive any messages from her following that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And would those messages have been stored on your phone?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And were you able to take screenshots of those messages last week?
Yes.
All right.
And
Your
I sent them
Honor.
to you.
Yes. Your Honor, I would like to move for entry of Exhibit 1, which is a package of text messages from Ms. Garcia. I can share my screen to show them.
Any objection to the admission of the text messages, Ms. Puerto?
I just hope that she has the beginning of the whole conversation.
All right. Well, we don't really know what we have until we see them, so they may be admitted. You may proceed, Ms. McNabb.
Thank you, Your Honor. Where does my screen share go? There we go. All right. All right. So, Ms. Garcia, I am sharing a screenshot of some text messages. Can you please describe what you're seeing and what was happening?
I was trying to wean out of my relationship with Angie Puerto because I just became pregnant. My fiance just proposed to me, and I was trying to move on into a less not toxic life with friends that are doing things that are not worthy for my future to come. And I blocking Angie and trying to ignore her, and she kept calling me. She was upset that I went to Colombia and got proposed to without her consent, I guess. And she then proceeded to contact my fiance, who she never has talked to before, never has seen before. They have no relation, and
And
started
congratulated
doing
him.
these things to me.
Okay. All right. And then, Ms. Garcia, so is this the second part of this conversation?
Correct.
Okay. And what is happening in this part of the conversation?
I'm trying to explain to her that there's no reason why you should be mad at a distance. I have friends that I haven't been friends with or I haven't seen for so many years, and it's fine. And we talk and we get back together like it's normal. I don't understand why I have to be at your hip, or why I have to answer your phone calls, or why I have to do anything. Like, why can't there be peace? I don't understand why she could have just moved on. Instead, she tried to contact people to damage my name, to throw dirt on me, to create revenge and do all these things.
And
for what?
And Ms. Garcia,
for what?
Can you look at, so do you see messages on your screen from January 31st of 2024?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And what had just happened that caused you to text Ms. Puerto this message or these
She
messages?
was relentless at contacting my fiance, telling him things about me, trying to ruin my relationship and my proposal with him.
And did those cause issues in your relationship with your fiance?
Yes, I even have the messages that she sent. He's the father to my child. She was trying to create problems between me and him. I have my mother as a witness. I have the messages that she also sent to my fiance.
Okay.
I do too.
And then, Ms. Garcia, can you please talk about these messages as well as this is still a continuation of your conversation with Ms. Puerto via text?
She's apparently upset. I'm trying to ask her why she's contacting my my fiance, I don't understand why she was. I was trying to explain to her I would never do anything of sorts to her and to please stop. And then she didn't care. As you see, it says, "Bitch, I will ruin your fakeness." All because I didn't do anything to her. All because I didn't talk to her, or
You were at my
because
house
I
3 days before you left to
I
Okay,
Columbus.
don't
Ms.
understand
Brickle,
why.
you can't interrupt. I will give you a chance to
Why?
cross-examine.
Okay, sorry.
Right, and then are these further messages from Miss Puerto?
Yes. I was actually afraid of not being friends with her because she's done this to so many people. She posts people's information on all it's the most ridiculous thing. She
That's
does it to
what.
her child's father. She does it to her other friends. If she gets mad, she starts posting things on Facebook, Instagram, her story. I don't know how to not be friends with this person.
Okay, and these are further text messages and photos from her
Yes,
of when you
this
were
was
at her
me at her
house.
house. Obviously, I felt uncomfortable. You could see in the
I was
picture.
crying because you just had
Yeah,
an
you were
abortion.
crying.
You had
Uh,
an abortion.
who cares? Why is it your
That's
business?
why I was crying. I was showing you I
No,
cared.
I was
Mr.
pregnant. I was
or
just
Judge
pregnant.
Rossi, I
Okay,
would
yeah,
ask that Miss
Ms.
I
Puerto
was
Brickle,
be
you can't
muted.
interrupt. I'm going to have to mute you if you continue interrupting. All right, and these to clarify, these are texts that predate the PPO. I mean, this is what led up to the PPO.
Correct, Your Honor. I'm just rebutting Miss Puerto's arguments that the PPO came out of nowhere.
Okay.
All right, and then Ms. Garcia, are these continuing messages from Miss Puerto?
Yes.
Okay, and so this is all part of the messages from January 31st of
I'm
2024.
asking her to, you see, I'm saying, please stop. And she was not stopping. I said, please stop. You don't see anywhere in the messages where I'm cussing at her, disrespecting her, doing anything to, I didn't even think it was going to go this far. She just wouldn't stop.
Okay, and these are continuing of the messages?
Correct.
Okay, and then because my lovely computer put these out of order. And so this is continuing into May,
Yes.
or not May, February, excuse
She
me.
said, I'm going to make sure I tell everybody the truth. Everybody, one of them being my child's father, which she contacted after she found out that I placed a PPO on her. Exactly. I mean, I don't understand why. Yes, my child's father and I don't get along. Duh. Why would I contacted him? Why would I contact Nate Johnson and tell Nate Johnson, oh, guess what? Me and Angie don't get along anymore. I got a PPO on him. Him and I don't get
Okay.
along. So I don't
All right,
understand where that would.
and then just to clarify, you filed asking for the PPO February 15th
Correct.
of 2024.
Correct.
And then it was granted that same day, February 15th of 2024.
Correct.
Okay. And then you had it served upon Ms. Garcia, or yeah, Ms. Puerto, and it was served on, I had all this information at my fingertips. February 21st of 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you filed a motion to show cause for a violation on May 8th of 2024.
Yes. And because she was also contacting my ex-boyfriend from 7 years and sending him stuff to, it's just, why? Why?
Okay, and
What for?
there were some struggles getting Ms. Puerto served with that motion to show cause, correct?
Correct.
And you had to
To the
come
point
ask.
where I had to get JACO civil process, which the deputy had to somehow expedite or write a letter to the court stating that he's dealt with her before, that this has been a habitual problem, and she also had 2 other PPOs placed upon her that they also served. So
Right.
I don't understand why people just keep on serving PPOs upon this innocent person.
Yeah. So, and then Ms. Garcia, you had to ask the court for a motion for an order of alternate service, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That included having it sent to her by first class mail and tacking it or affixing it to her door.
Yes.
Okay. And then on August 22nd, that's when she filed the thing. And then
And
Ms.
what took me
Puerto,
till
Ms. Puerto was not at the hearing for this violation, the first hearing, correct?
Correct.
And the judge issued a
Yes.
bench warrant at that time?
At that moment, I don't think he issued a warrant on her. I
Okay.
think she was assuming because I didn't show up to the other hearing for the 5-year PPO that this was dropped. So I think that's what
Okay.
occurred.
But she did fail to appear to a court date in September,
Correct.
and then a bench warrant was issued? Not a pick-
No, it was after I believe the second court date in which she didn't show.
In October?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And then she was picked up in January of this year, correct? 2025?
Correct.
And then we had the arraignment. Right. So you didn't wait to file this violation. You filed them in May when you became aware of them.
Yeah. Yes, but then because of her not answering to the people JACO civil process, it extended it and then extended it, and obviously it took so long. I don't know if she thought it was gonna go away, they were gonna go away, something was gonna happen. And then obviously she didn't show up to the court dates, and that's why we're here at this point a whole year later.
Okay. And then Ms. Garcia, how long have you known the father of Ms. Puerto's children?
Yikes. Since I was 15, 14 years old, freshman of high school.
Okay. And were you reasonably close?
Like best friends.
And when you contact him, do you talk about Ms. Puerto at all?
There's been times where, yes, we've talked about her because of the problems that he's, but they're not harassing problems. They're not to talk about hurting her or anything of that nature.
But
It's literally the problems that it's literally about the problems we both had with Miss Puerto, and whoa.
and are you contacting him with any intention of having him pass messages to Ms. Puerto or make her life more difficult?
Absolutely not. Actually, he's the one, he reached out to me to let me know that Miss Puerto went to jail on the PPO violation.
Okay.
I had no idea about it.
All right. And then, to the best of your knowledge, would Nate Johnson have Miss Puerto's number?
The only reason why he would have her number is because, but Nate Johnson is not one to get involved with things or contact Angie for any reason. He told me that their antics, and that's when Angie started calling Nate.
Okay.
The last time I remember contacting him from her phone was because he wasn't answering. I blocked my number. So that's another thing. How could I contact him if he has me blocked and tell him that I'm having problems with her? Obviously, I used her phone because I couldn't get through to him. So I just don't understand how she could say that
So
I let him know.
your
But me and him
testimony
don't
is
get
that
along.
your testimony is that Nate would have had to do a little bit of work to text Miss Puerto.
I'm assuming so, yeah. He would have to have saved her number from years prior because, yeah, Nate doesn't do anything like that. Yes, he has problems with me. Yes, I have problems with him. But why wouldn't he have contacted Angie Puerto prior then, if that were the case? Why would he wait until after I got the PPO on her to contact her, is what I'm wondering.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like the court to be aware of?
Angie and I have had numerous altercations about posting pictures of me that I've been not wanting her to post on Instagram and Facebook, and she deleted me while we were friends, and she still has pictures posted and videos posted of me of things that are not presentable, like a picture of her trying to pull at my bikini top that I never knew about. until somebody told me about. She hasn't, I don't understand why, if somebody doesn't want to be friends with you, or if somebody wants to move on with their life, why you have to post, why can I get those taken down? All in all, I want her to leave me alone for the existing part of my life. I do not want any contact from her. Whatever happens today, whatever, I'm going to leave it into God's hands. However,
Okay.
I want absolutely zero contact from Angie Puerto for the absolute rest of my life. I want all the pictures to be taken down that are inappropriate, and I want to move forward. Whatever. I just don't want anything to do with her. I don't even want to be here. It's
Okay.
my birthday today. This
Oh my
is
goodness, I'm so sorry.
a problem that like I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Okay. And then Ms. Garcia,
Unwanted.
those photos that you're talking about, were those taken prior to the PPO's existence?
Yes.
And were they uploaded after the PPO was in place?
No, they were, but they're on. I didn't know about them until
Okay.
people told me, "Oh, she has these pictures of you," and I realized, like, whoa, I never consented of those pictures. I don't know about those pictures. Why are they even there? And they're of me with my top exposed.
And
Why?
are you identified in those pictures at all? Did she tag you? Does it say who it is under
No,
there?
I'm not tagged in the picture at all.
Okay.
Of one of a couple of them. The other ones, yes, I'm tagged in. If I liked, there's me and Angie had a very um close relationship, so we've had a lot of pictures and memories together. However, there's things that I just didn't think that were suitable for social media that I asked her a couple times, and she got upset and told me it's her social media. I just think that I wouldn't, I just would like that down. That's all. I just want nothing to do with Miss Puerto anymore.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
I I have a witness as my mother. I don't know if I can call her to stand.
I can call her after you, but first we've got to let Ms. Puerto
Yeah,
do
Ms. Puerto has
cross.
an opportunity to ask you cross-examination questions. Usually, Ms. Puerto, cross-examination questions are ones that can be answered with a yes or no answer. We're called leading questions. Ms. Puerto, do you have any questions for Ms. Garcia at this time?
Oh, sorry, I had to unmute it. Honestly, the only one that keeps dragging this is her. I've been done. I don't
Okay,
need to
it's
ask
got to be
it.
a question. I'll give you a chance to make a closing argument.
Okay. No, I'm just,
Okay, so
can
no
we, I
question.
don't have any reason to bother anybody. I'm done. I feel the same way she feels.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
I will give you a chance to do a closing argument after we hear from the final witness. It sounds like there's one more witness, Ms. McNabb.
Can you put her down? Can you put the
Miss-
baby down? They're going to call you for a witness.
Ms. Garcia, what is your mother's name?
Her name is Lydia Cologne.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd like to call Lydia Colomb.
All right, Ms. Cologne, would you please raise your right hand? I can't quite see you in the picture. There we go. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that
You're going to have to
testimony
take,
today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I don't want my baby. Your Honor, I do not want my baby in this video. Can I arrange
Yeah, go ahead
this,
and switch
please?
the baby.
Hello, I'm Lydia.
All right, thank you,
I'm Lydia
Ms.
Colomb.
Cologne. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You
I
may lower your
will
hand.
always say the truth.
Very good. And you may proceed, Ms. McNabb.
Thank you. Ms. Colomb, how are you related to the petitioner in this matter?
I am her Lisa Garcia's mom.
Could you repeat that? I think you cut out for a little bit. We had you really well for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I am Lisa Garcia's mom.
Okay, thank you. And are you aware that a PPO, that your daughter was granted a PPO against Ms. Puerto in February of last year?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I am.
Okay. So can you testify to any contacts or harassment from Ms. Puerto following February of last year?
Well, it actually started They were very friends. They were longtime friends. However, things made a big turnaround when my daughter got involved with her fiance right now, Felix.
No, it happened before that. It
And
happened in April.
Oh,
Okay,
Ms.
no,
Garcia.
only Miss, your mom
Oh.
can testify, Miss Garcia. You just gotta let her do it on her own.
Story.
Okay,
The whole
well,
story.
they were just having issues, and I guess I had told my daughter to reevaluate her situation, her friendship with Miss Puerto, because I thought it was toxic for my daughter. Miss Puerto demonstrates a lot of toxic behavior that I don't think is proper for my daughter. So I was the one that actually initiated to tell my daughter not to, to try to distance herself from Miss Puerto. And
Okay.
so Miss Puerto didn't, I guess her reaction was not agreeable with her. She probably felt that this relationship or this friendship um, was a little bit more, how should I say, she wanted to stay connected with my daughter in a way because I'm not quite sure. I really don't understand the
Right.
reasons why she was behaving this way. My daughter really wanted to be her friend. My daughter always wanted to be her friend and always demonstrated a really good and wholesome relationship. However, I noticed that Miss Puerto was not, how should I say it? Her friendship was a little bit beyond what I wanted that I
Yeah.
thought was a little bit too, she demonstrated more control. She wanted to control the situation, I want to say.
Okay.
So anything that my daughter did, Miss Puerto was kind of wanted to be in control or wanted to be involved.
You're not.
Okay. And Miss Cullum, what about anything after February of 2024? So after your daughter was granted the PPO,
Mhm.
in terms of ways Miss Puerto has, harassed your daughter.
Well, I do know that she was trying to reach out to people, trying to talk to people against my daughter.
How do you know that?
Because I personally heard them from them.
Did you see any text messages or
From
overhear any phone calls?
My son.
Yes, I have.
Okay. And when she reached out to these folks, what was Miss Puerto saying?
Well, things about my daughter, negative things about her, um, things that were not true. Things were, she was actually putting my daughter in situations that were, she was actually lying about my daughter. She
Okay.
got, even my grandson was involved because when she called Nate, my grandson even told me, because I did question my grandson about who called who, and he said it was Angie that called his father while they were driving to his aunt's house. And, he wasn't aware that it was Angie until his father started telling him, mentioning Angie. And so she was the one that approached Nate. It wasn't the other way around.
Okay. And
And this is what my grandson told me personally.
and for these other folks she was texting, to the best of your knowledge, having viewed the text messages or overheard the phone calls, they were not reaching out to her.
No, not at all. Why would they? Why would they want to reach out to her? There's no reason for that.
All right. Thank you. And all right, Ms. Cullum, is there anything else that you would like the court to be aware of?
Well, I do know that the reason why it just escalated from one thing to another. I don't know why this was going on. There wasn't any reason why my daughter wasn't doing anything to Angie. She wasn't provoking her to do anything. I think it all started when my daughter got into a relationship.
Your birthday.
And then things got, I think what happened was that Angie tried to reach out to Felix, and she doesn't even know this guy. She never met him before. And she started telling him things about my daughter that's not true. to try to break up this relationship between my daughter and Felix.
All right, and I hate to do this, but could you give an example or two of the things that were not true that she was telling people?
She told Felix that my daughter was pregnant, but not from him, from another man.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I have no more questions at this time. Oh, Your Honor, you are
And that wasn't
muted.
the only thing she said, but that was one of the worst things she said. And that's a lie.
I apologize. I muted because someone decided it's a good idea to leaf blow right outside my window here. So I didn't want that to interfere with the testimony. Miss Puerto, do you have any cross-examination questions?
No, I actually have a lot of respect for her mother. I love her. I don't have anything to say.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Then thank you, Ms. Garcia. I don't have any other questions. You may step down from the witness stand. Any additional witnesses at this time?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then I believe we're to the time for closing statements. Ms. McNabb.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe we've proven beyond a reasonable doubt that at the very least, Ms. Puerto has undertaken actions that make Ms. Garcia feel incredibly harassed. She seems to want to argue about the qualifications of the PPO originally and that it shouldn't have been granted, and trying to show that Ms. Garcia was not afraid of her. However, obviously there are intervening text messages that show that's not true. As well as Ms. Garcia has testified credibly about Facebook posts and messages, including her image, as well as text messages and phone calls to several other people trying to tell lies about Ms. Garcia in an effort to upend her relationship, as well as that was corroborated by her mother, Ms. Cullum. Ms. Garcia or Ms. Puerto seems to want to make a lot of the fact that Ms. Garcia waited 9 months to file this violation. However, we've also proven that that's not true because she filed it in May, and it was getting Ms. Puerto served that caused it to be pushed out.
Well, certainly I'll acknowledge that my schedule has required, delays in the hearings, so we can attempt to get the witnesses here, et cetera. So all of those things contribute. And unfortunately, it's not at all unusual in a legal case to hear about things that happened a year or more ago. As you know, Ms. McNabb, that happens all the time in court. Just due to those combination of the need to serve people with notice and prove that it's served, and then secondarily to get on the court schedule at some point because we got a lot of stuff on our calendar too. All right.
Absolutely, Your Honor. My point was just that it was not Ms. Garcia sitting on this violation and holding it.
I understand your argument, right? That it was filed timely, and I think what I'm hearing from you, Ms. McNabb, is not violations by direct contact, but rather third persons who the expectation when Ms. Puerto spoke to them is that would one way or another get back to Ms. Garcia. In other words, she wasn't just communicating for the purpose of communicating with those individuals. She wanted the word to get back to Ms. Garcia about that communication. It was intended to violate the PPO.
Yes, Your Honor, and it was intended to harass Ms. Garcia.
All right, let me hear from Ms. Puerto, your closing argument.
I just want to say around the time that I showed that text message when she showed me she said it was a girl. Me and her were still being good. The last time I seen her, she was at my house. I cooked for her, and 3 days later, yes, one of my friends came to my house and showed me that she was in Cartagena, in Colombia. And honestly, I'm from Colombia, and I've been friends with her since she added me and requested to come to my baby shower about 9 years ago. I didn't even know her of anything. She just requested me to be my friend on Facebook. We were friends ever since. And honestly, I've been with her through the ups and the downs. And yeah, I felt very hurt when I found out that she left to my home country to get engaged, not even 3 days after I just cooked for her. I didn't understand why she would not tell me. I tried to contact her. She had blocked me. We were not fighting or anything. So yes, I did contact the Felix guy because I couldn't get a hold of her. And all I said was, I just want to let you guys know that I want to congratulate you on your engagement. Please let Lisette know that I'm trying to get a hold of her, and I have text messages to prove this. I said, I don't know why she hides me, because she would be at my house and she would go in that alley to talk to him. It was like she was hiding the friendship from him. I never understood why, because me and her have no, like, we're not like gay or anything like that. So we're just friends. I have kids, she has kids, my kids love her, her kids loves me. Like, I don't understand where we went wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have wrote him, but I felt like as a human being that I could just explain that, that I just wanted to congratulate them. I don't have any reason to break up a happy home. I don't want nothing for Lisette but happiness, because she's been through a lot of pain. And like I said, I don't understand where all of this animosity is coming from, because I don't gain anything out of stalking anybody. Like I said, I'm a busy mom. I have 6 boys, all in sports, high school, middle school, elementary. And I'm just so busy and I don't have time for this. And I'm really hurt that all of this has turned to this. And at the end of the day, um, it does. I'm not pushing the fact when she filed the PPO or the violation or not, but where is the actual, in fact, proof of me actually doing the facts that she's saying that I do? Because then it's the same he said, she said, because I have people contacting me about her speaking about me as well, including the father of my kids, whether that's her friend or not. I have 2 children with him, and he contacted me not even 2 weeks ago to tell me that she wanted to say something to about my kids, which I don't understand how, because me and her have no contact.
Yeah,
And
now
I
if I
do.
can pause you, Miss Puerto, I need to clarify something. The father of your kids is not Nate Johnson. That's a different guy who's the father of Miss Garcia's kids.
It's,
Two
yes,
different people.
correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to clarify that. I've heard about both of them. I get it. Okay. Right. The dad of your kids was friends with her in the past. They may have back and forth communication. What about Nate Johnson? Why reach out to him?
And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I didn't reach out to him. The reason he told me that he reached out to me was because, of course, Nathan heard her talking to her people, her mom, whoever. She was so upset about me contacting Felix, and they came and told him, and as well with the boyfriend. I actually have the whole conversation with the boyfriend. He called me, he contacted me because he wanted to get together with me and take me out to eat. And I have the whole conversation because I recorded the whole conversation to have proof. And he told me that she said, yeah, I'm going to get that bitch deported. I'm going to get her deported.
The
And,
let me pause you. The boyfriend's someone different than Nate Johnson.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct. And
yeah.
she brought him
Well,
up. And that's what I'm saying. Like, both of these guys, individuals who have been upset with Lisette, contacted me knowing that I was her best friend and that we were not in good terms, so they can get their information, or so that they can use valuable like the text message said, my sister thought it would be a good idea if you tell me anything about her so I could bring it to court, because they have, like, I guess they have custody battles and stuff like that, Nate and Lisette. And I don't know. I don't know why these guys contacted me. Like I said, I don't know if they're upset at her because she has a new boyfriend, because they know that I know everything
Your
about
Honor,
her.
I would object. We're
yeah,
getting very testimonial.
yeah. No, I think right. And well, we're kind of getting beyond the stuff that was presented in uh
I
evidence.
apologize. At the end of the day, I just want, if something is proven and with facts, it's okay. But I have not harassed anybody, and if there is no proof, I don't understand why we're sitting here dragging this here. I am not against Lisette. I have never been.
All
And
right.
yes, I
Okay.
was
Well,
just
I
sad.
think I've heard the testimony today. and also viewed, some exhibits entered into evidence. The primary allegation here is that in sometime around February 2024, that Ms. Puerto violated the protective order specifically by having contacts with Nate Johnson, the father of Ms. Garcia's children, and also by posting and making comments online. I haven't seen any evidence of the online postings, so those are not a basis. The call on, who contacted who and what was the intention here is simply too close for me to find that there was a violation here beyond a reasonable doubt. Rather, it is unclear to the court who initiated these conversations and why. It is clear that I am dealing with a small community of people who have a connection to these two ladies and then sometimes to the nation of Colombia, and that they talk to each other and they talk to their relatives and friends, and that word kind of circulates around. So I can't say with certainty that the contact with either Mr. Johnson or I think it is mainly Nate Johnson here, that was intended to, in other words, get back to, or for that matter, that it was initiated by Ms. Puerto. It could have been initiated by Nate Johnson because he may have custody, beef with Miss Garcia. I just can't find that beyond a reasonable doubt. Thus, I will find that there is no violation of the PPO at this time. And I do note that Judge Christensen did terminate the PPO at a hearing. Thus, there is currently no PPO in place, although it certainly occurs to me that, both parties here seem to be best served by non-contact with each other. It just seems that there is friction in the relationship, and the only thing a PPO is not a great legal tool for accomplishing anything beyond kind of staying at an arm's length from each other. There may be old postings on social media. I'm sure if I went back on my social media, there'd be old postings on there that I'd say, why did I keep that up for 5 years? And that stuff is going to happen. However, a PPO is not necessarily the best way to accomplish either side's objectives in the case here. So this violation is going to be found, as I said, not guilty on this violation. However, I do think there's a lot of interest in the two of you not communicating with each other, and would certainly encourage that going forward, because otherwise we're going to get into a whole reciprocal sense of PPOs and things like that. And, it's really not, unless you feel like the other person is going to, ultimately these are peace bonds. So, the harassment has to escalate, to a point where I think the other person's going to locate me at my home or my work and hurt me, and then of course there's law enforcement's available for those things too. And sometimes, the rhetoric on social media, the words on social media and in a community or to other people get very elevated, but there really isn't much risk of anyone getting hurt. People are, I've heard it referred to as blowing off steam or whatever, even though it can be hurtful and things like that. In a smaller community, and it appears, there is a community of folks involved here, who do know each other in ways beyond just the friendship or the former friendship of Miss Garcia, Miss Puerto. You're going to potentially cross paths with people the other person talked to. Nonetheless, like I say, try to make your ways forward. You both do have families of your own and want to set a course forward here. It does appear that there was a friendship at one point, but clearly the friendship at this point is over. So I would encourage you to just make your own ways forward and to avoid contact with the other, knowing that, if you do, it's just going to result in a legal mess that gets time consuming and expensive for the both of you. So I'm not going to find a violation at this time. I will note that Ms. Puerto did get picked up, for the record at one point because she didn't appear for the hearing, thinking that because it was dismissed, the hearing was off incorrectly. I had issued, as Ms. Garcia knows, a bench warrant, and she did serve 2 days in jail. Initially on the matter because she got picked up on the bench warrant, and I arraigned her on that. So I mean, there was some consequence to the alleged violation here, even though I'm finding it isn't a violation that rises to require any additional sanctions or punishment at this time. So it's not as if the whole legal exercise was for nothing here. Both sides have felt the impact of it. Miss Garcia's been here and appeared on her birthday to do something that is not fun for anyone that is testifying in court. And so, both sides have felt the repercussions. I would just advise the two of you to keep your distance, let bygones be bygones, and, move forward with your own lives as best you can at this point.
Okay, Your Honor, just so the record is clear, it's my understanding that Ms. Puerto was booked into the Kent County Jail on January 23rd of 2025 at 2:35 a.m. And then the arraignment was held later that day, and she bonded out later that day, so it was not 2 days.
I was 1 day in jail. Okay, very well. No, that does sound accurate to me, and I do recall the hearing because I do recall having that conversation about why she didn't show for the hearing prior to that, et cetera, and thus, as you pointed out, contributing to why it took a long time to get here. So there was a day in jail and an arrest and stuff that's not very pleasant for anyone to go through. So it's not as if the message hasn't been sent here. I think it's been sent in, almost as much as strong as ways you can in terms of a PPO. I would just advise both parties in both of your interests just to keep, distant from each other, because it's just going to result in more legal costs and entanglement going forward. So with that, we're concluded.